What's going on, guys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we have a 100k squad builder for you today. I know the prices keep changing, so we've got a Premier League, pure Premier League 100k. So I think it's the best meta squad builder you can get. We're going to first start off with some of the key players I think that which really makes a team. We've gone with Vardy, and the reason why Vardy is because he's actually a very versatile player for what he is. He can header, he can shoot, he does have that 3-star weak foot, but because his finishing is so high, like if you put a hunt on him, because his finishing is so high, you can maybe try to think that the 3-star weak foot's like a 4-star, but he can header the ball. So we're going to leave him in for now. I'll explain to you how we'll change him. You can play him on the wing as well. Now, the most important things when you've got a meta team is you need 3 key players: a good goalkeeper, a good CDM, and a good striker. Now, the next person is a CDM. Now, in the Premier League, there isn't that many good centre mids. There's players like Pogba, players like Kante, but they're very, very expensive. On the lower tier, you have Fabinho. He's too slow. You do have Partey. Now, Partey is a really good option, but the issue with Partey is that he hasn't got the Sissoko type player. Now, Allen is also a very, very good option. Either one of them are fine. I would say Sissoko just for the simple fact that he can do everything for me. I think he's one of the best players in the game. In fact, I have him on my main team right now. If I can't afford Kante, the next person I'm going to is Sissoko. Now, the only thing that edges him in front of Allen for me is that sprint speed. If you can buy this guy with his shadow with 94 sprint speed, he ends up becoming one of the best players. Honestly, best centre mids in the game, so he definitely goes in. Now, in the goalkeeper role, there isn't that many good goalkeepers in the There's no like standout goalkeepers per se. We do have the likes of Leno and Edison, and Alisson apparently is a fraud. But I've gone with De Gea. De Gea has played 200 games for me. I still have him on my team. Hasn't really made a step wrong. So definitely I've kept him in the team. There are other options, but I think for that amount of money, yes, half the budget is blown. But with a good CDM that can defend very, very well, that way you don't have to touch your back four, a good striker to finish, so finish your chances, and a good goalkeeper to actually save your chances is the spine of your team. Now, the rest of your team, for example, your second centre mid, you can get away with someone that's somewhat mediocre. Fred definitely fits that role. He's not mediocre. He's actually a very good player. But he fits that role very, very well. With the shadow, he's exceptionally good. He can pass, he can dribble, he can shoot, he can basically do everything on the ball. That's what you want. A diverse technical midfield player next to someone who's more defensive minded. So we've got Fred next to Sissoko. I used Fred in my team last week for a 4-weekend league. Formidable player. Honestly, I'll be honest, he's very, very underrated. Of course, the price, the Black Friday coming soon, is reducing in price, but he was 30k for a reason. Now, going over to the right wing, there's many options. We have gone for the likes of Pepe. You just want someone who's really, really fast. In terms of left wing and right wing, or Lamb and Aram, you can get away with cheap players. Decent pace. He's got the 5-star scrimmage, which really elevates him. That's why we put Pepe in that role. But the most important thing is, understanding, for example, the technicality of each player. If you prefer someone with a 5-star weak foot, you want a 5-star skill moves, you want to get someone like Pepe. I would have got someone like Lucas, but he's too expensive. You can go with the likes of Mahrez and Bernardo Silva, but the issue is they're too slow. So you've got with Pepe. Now, the left-hand side, we've got with Saint Maximin. Saint Maximin is one of the best players in the game. The reason why is he's got the 5-star skill moves, but he's also got the high agility balance. With wingers, you want to focus on pace, high agility balance, and if you can, get good shooting. Now, we've gone with a finish on him. I'll go on to the chemistry styles again later on. But you want a fast player, 5-star, 4-star, 5'8", low, high, low defensive, high attacking work rates. Everything you need for a winger. Now, we've gone with a second striker or a second player. When you're playing a 4-2-3-1, you ideally want your cam to be like a second striker. So we've gone with Rodrigo. And for left back, we're going to go with Telles. I think Telles is a really good option. He's got really good passing for a left back, and he's left-footed. It's important to have a left footer on the left-hand side. That way you can do like the driven through balls, if that makes sense, with a left foot. On the opposite side, in contrast, we have gone with Cancelo. There is better options like Semedo, but if you can afford Semedo, get Semedo here. But it does put it just above the budget. So we put Cancelo there instead. That way we keep within the budget of 100k, and you have time, space to maneuver. We are the centre back. We've gone with Ake. Ake is a really good player because he can do everything. He's really, really good and diverse, and he is pretty solid. And the final player we have gone with is Juan Basaka. Now, that takes us to just 90k on Xbox, 100k exactly on PS4. Now, obviously, in case you're wondering about chemistry, when you put loyalty in all these players, every single player gets full chemistry par Juan Basaka. Now, Juan Basaka, the secret is we're going to play him in centre back. So we're actually going to start him as a right back. That way he gets full chemistry. And then in game, we'll move him to a centre back position where he will still retain 10 chemistry. Cancelo is fine on 7 chemistry because he is a right back. You don't need the full boost, but it's important to get the boost for Juan Basaka. Now, we're going to show you how I'll line this up and how I'll change it. So in a 4-1-2-1-2, I would go with Vardy in striker alongside with Rodrigo, Saint Maximin in cam. And if you're going to play the right mid left mid variation, you can't really do it with Fred. The only way you can maybe do it with Fred is you put Saint Maximin on the wing, because you need kind of like a cam-s player or a winger, should I say, a fast player, should I say, on the wing. But if you're going to go with a narrow, which is the one that I recommend, you can probably get away with something like this. And of course, you have something lined up like that. Pepe in centre mid is not that bad, but I would recommend doing that. Now, the second option you do in a 4-2-3-1. Actually, we'll get onto the 4-2-3-1 in a second. 4-4-2 is the next option we're going to go into. Obviously, Sissoko on stay back while attacking, Fred on balanced, and then I would say with Rodrigo and Vardy in strikers, exact same layout. Now, with a 4-2-3-1, this is what I would say is keep everything the same. The only thing I would say is get Mahrez here instead. It's going to be a bit of a push. Try to get Mahrez here. Now, this is the chemistry styles you want, because you're going to be playing a 4-2-3-1. And if you watch this video at the end, you'll understand, okay? So, when you're lining this up, you want to get a Hunter for Mahrez, Hunter for Vardy, finisher for Saint Maximin, Shadow on Sissoko, Shadow on Fred, a finisher on Rodrigo, Shadow or Anchor on Juan Basaka, Shadow on Ake, Shadow on Cancelo, a Shadow on Tellez, and a Glove on De Gea. Now, you're going to say, oh, these cards cost X amount of money. You can buy the card with a Shadow for a cheap price. Now, if you get Mahrez in, then you can play a 4-2-3-1, put Mahrez here, put Vardy striker, and you can play Sissoko and Fred. And this ends up becoming one of the best teams you can honestly buy. In game will look like that. Obviously, Juan Basaka hasn't got the height, but I'll be honest. I mean, not a height, but I mean the jumping height, should I say. But I'll be honest, he's one of the best centre backs. I used him the entire first 4 weekend leagues. I got Elite 1 with him in a centre back, top tier player. The only thing I would say with this team is, if you don't like Vardy, you can get someone like Richarlison. But truthfully speaking, until you can afford someone like Lucas Moura, you're on a very strict budget. So Lucas Moura is who I'd realistically want to play in striker. But because you're probably going to be on a strict budget, the best thing you can go with is someone like Vardy or someone like Richarlison. Richarlison is a bit better because he does have that 5-star weak foot. So what you can do is you can go with someone like Richarlison and you can put a Hunter on him. That's what I would recommend if you want someone who can basically just attack through brute force. But you may prefer to have someone like Vardy over here, and that way you can always switch and chop and change and move players around. But anyway, that's just a quick 100k team. Today is the 14th of the 11th, so if you're watching this video and by the time this video comes out, this team is no longer 100k, I might have a new video out. But that is a team I'll definitely go with. And if you do have money, just a quick say, if you have money for improvements, what I would say is Lucas Moura is the first person you want to get. That is the best striker, I think, in the Premier League. The reason why is that high agility and balance, so he can maneuver. He's got a 4-star weak foot. You can either put a Hunter on him, but a finisher is also equally as good. So I would say definitely get Lucas, play him and striker in game as soon as you can. You can keep Vardy on a wing if you want, and that's the way I'll leave it. Put Cancelo over here is what I would say, and then you get Semedo here. So realistically speaking, if you're watching this video and you trust my opinion, what's I'm going to do, Semedo. You want to do this. Semedo and Juan Basaka were the best centre-backs I used. In fact, they carried me to Elite 1, I'll be honest, because they're fast, they're quick, they're nimble. In-game starter like this, move Cancelo over there. Then if you're going to be playing a 4-2-3-1, Vardy will go as cam, and then you'll have Lucas and striker, and that is the way I would line it up in game. That's the main way to go. It does push it to 150, but if you're looking for a Premier League team, that's where I would go in terms of improvements. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.